wanted to finish our season with you. Great story. You have a great story. Plus, we all know you. You know, we're original Fret Sisters. We're alumnus.
Yeah.
So yeah. So Fret Sisters, Good, as you know, we're an online international online community for women musicians, but we're expanded to producers, singers, production, women in the arts,
Mhm.
basically. But our interest is women who play stringed instruments.
Mhm.
So anyway, glad to be with you, and we are excited to hear your story. So the four ladies that are part of Fret Sisters are, and we all met at the same place. Isn't that
Yeah.
funny?
Mhm.
Jenny Jam, great guitar player, session player. She plays with Pebble to Pearl, awesome band out of the DMV, and she tours. Awesome. Uh, Great producer too. Then we also have another young lady that's a great singer and guitar player. She's out of Atlanta, and it's Nicole Rose. And
Mhm.
she's out of Atlanta, and she plays with Paul Reed Smith as well, like you.
Mhm.
And then last we have Sean Marshall out of Pennsylvania. Great singer, songwriter, producer. She has original material, original music, and she's amazing. So I'm with some really great people, you know. And of course, me, you know about me, guitarist, you know, instructor, and, you know, producing. So let's get on to you. Yeah, so Fret Sisters, we do have online merch store as well. And we have podcasts, we have a tea talk, and we're doing interviews now. We started with just a regular interviews. And I said, guys, you know, we all sat down. We said, you know, let's start doing video because everybody was home last year.
Mhm.
So we said, let's do Zoom.
Yeah.
So here we are. So Guda, tell us all about you, girl. You have had an amazing year.
Well, I would like to first start off saying thank you for inviting me here. All the work that you all do is absolutely fantastic. You have an amazing platform. So thank you for your vision and your mission. As far as me, everyone calls me Gouda, like the cheese. It's just spelled Gudah, but my name is Danielle Walcott.
Mhm.
I come from a family of musicians. I come from a lot of brothers. My parents had 8 boys, and then they tried one more time, and then here I came. So my father and my brothers, they had a gospel quartet group in Jersey City, New Jersey. They would go all around between Jersey and New York playing for churches and so forth. But my father played guitar. So when I came along, he passed the guitar to me. So, and I was about 5 years old. During that time, he put me in like 1 year of lessons, but you know, I'm not sure why it stopped, but I just kept playing. You know, he would have me up to 1, 2 o'clock in the morning at 5, 6 years old, trying to learn scales and learn little notes. But I never learned how to read guitar music. I never really formally knew how to play. I learned how to do everything by ear.
Mhm.
I developed learning how to play other instruments by being competitive with my brothers. So, you know, that saying, anything you can do better, I can do better than you. That was kind of me. I wanted to always be better than them because I'm like, I'm the only girl, you know. So I learned how to play bass, guitar, trumpet. And, you know, so um, my mother also sang and played. She played piano. So we just had music all with us. Throughout my teenage years, I once again played music, but once I got ready to go to college, my dad did not want me to pursue music as a career. He said it's too hard, it's going to be too tough, and I
Mhm.
want you to be a doctor because you know I had straight A's through school, and you know I was the first generation college student. So you know, from he wanted me to be the best of the best, and at that time in the Black community, being a doctor is very prestigious, you know.
Sure.
So went to college, but I always played. I've always stayed connected to music. Um, but I struggled. Biology and being in pre-med was not my gift, but I did it. I got through. Um, I graduated in 2006, and I was going to go to med school.
Mhm.
I didn't know during that time, I didn't get prepared well because you're supposed to have patient care experience. So during that time, I said, I'll go into the work field and, get some patient care experience. And then I said, EMT, emergency medical technician. So I said, I'll do it just for a year, just to get that patient care experience, hands-on experience. And that year turned into almost 13 years. So
Wow, really?
yeah, yep. So doing that for 13 years, seeing a little bit of everything. You think it, I probably saw it. It was something that I truly enjoyed, but I always felt like I was missing something. During that time that I was working as a medic, I've always played in bands, but I went through a period that I didn't play at all for about 6 years. I didn't touch the guitar. I said, now I'm a mom, I'm a wife. I'm just going to give 100% to that because, at the time, nobody was really wanting me to play. No one didn't choose me to play and this and that. But I would be at work all day with headphones on and just daydreaming of like playing on stage. I'm like, but this is something that's staying with me. And, so when things tug at you like that, that's really God speaking,
Sure.
but I still ignored it. So, and this is something where I can come back full circle and say, I'm glad to have met you at the international, at the time it was Guitar Summit. Now it's currently the International Musician Summit. And I didn't want to go. I was going to go in 2013, 14, and 2015. My husband came home one day and he was like, everything downstairs on the fridge. I'm like, what is he talking about? He went on ahead and bought the ticket and bought me a hotel. And he was like, you're going. He was like, it's something that you're missing. And I know you need to, be there. I don't know what you're going to receive there, but you have to go. So I go, and the International Guitar Summit or Musician Summit changed my life. Just being around some of the most influential, some of the best musicians that or who was doing what I dreamt about doing. And I'm like, and it lit a fire in me. I cried for 3 days because I'm like, it's not gone. And we do go through these periods in life where we're like, we are lost. And, so being connected to people who are going where you're going, someone who can just give a little bit of inspiration, advice, encouragement, so I encourage people to, definitely get connected. Anything you want to do in life, get to where people are actually doing it,
Exactly.
So, I got more. You want to keep going?
Yeah, keep going. I'm loving this interview.
So going from there, being a medic, of course, there's 12, 13-hour, 14-hour shifts.
Wow.
You'll be at a shift and you on your way in, and then all of a sudden you got to get another call. So plus overtime, there has been 16-hour shifts, 24-hour shifts, and being so connected to music, I would just some days I would be a little bit upset. I'm like, if I spent as much time playing my guitar as I was here, I'd be so much better. If I would always say if I. So then I started thinking like, Danielle, then what you going to do? So I started to really just pray about it. I'm like, I given 100% to being a wife, and I'm a pretty good one.
Oh, definitely.
I give 100% to being a mom.
Oh, yeah, beautiful kids.
I gave 100% to everything, and I never ever gave 100% to music. So I just started. So I got a call shortly after that from a young lady in Columbia to play at a festival.
Columbia, South Carolina, or which state?
Yeah. Yep. Columbia, South Carolina. Yep. So I got a call there to do a festival. It happens to be at a pretty big church, but the church had a cemetery. So this was kind of my defining moment to the next stage of life for me, or the next process and journey for me. Being backstage was right next to a cemetery. So I was just like hanging over the gate of the cemetery, waiting for us to call. And I was just like looking at all of these headstones. And I'm like, man, I wonder like how many dreams have died.
Wow, that's something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, how many people in here never pursued their true purpose, their calling? How many people in here have settled just to, make someone else happy, or just
Mm-hmm.
for security, and never? I'm like, man,
But what
that
about this? What about how many of them did pursue and how many did become successful?
yeah,
So you don't know, but I understand what you're saying.
yeah,
It's a little bit of all. Mm-hmm.
yeah. It's a little bit of all.
Mm-hmm.
I that I guess the way I was thinking about it is because I hear it so many times, man. I
Yeah.
hear so many people that are unhappy where they are, but they never do anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I said to myself at that moment, I said, God, if you give me another chance to live another day, I said, I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to learn how to play guitar the way I need to learn. Because I
Mm-hmm.
play good, but I'm like, I know things can be better. I really had people tell me, Gudah, you're good enough. And I'm like, well, that's not a compliment.
Mm-hmm.
Really.
Good. Good enough for, but good
I
enough for
know.
what? What's he
Well,
trying to say?
exactly. So I'm like, man, I don't want to be just good enough, because I'm like, there's something in me.
Mm-hmm.
And, like it is, God gave us all, I truly believe God gave us all something, but it's up to us to dig deep and really sharpen what he gave us. And we can make a ministry out of it. And this is part of my ministry. So that actually segue into saying, okay, I want to go back to school. I told my husband of now currently of 10 years. We've been
Congratulations.
married. Thank
Great.
you.
Happy anniversary, definitely.
Thank you.
That's wonderful.
So, and he was like, well, what do you need to do to go back
Mm-hmm.
to school? And I said, and I'm the number cruncher of the home. So I'm like, well, the numbers don't add up. I can't just like up and leave my job. So he said, well, let's plan. What do we need to do so you can feel secure and safe to go back to school and not stress about finances? So
Mm-hmm.
I started adding up everything, and I was like, man, we got two car payments. It's close to about $800. So we worked on it, and he actually worked overtime, and he paid off two cars within like a matter of months, like 4 months.
Wow.
So
That's amazing.
he did. So he was
Mm-hmm.
like, is this enough? I was like, I think so. So I still did not want to leave my job at the time. So I said, let me stay part-time. So I did not, once again, I wanted to get into school,
Mm-hmm.
but I did not know how to read music. I did not, and for this program at UNC Charlotte, you needed to learn how to play classical guitar. I never touched a classical guitar. So what I did was I reached out with, oh, there you go. Oh, she's
Yeah,
beautiful.
it's a Cordoba flamenco classical
That is
guitar.
beautiful.
Thank you.
Look
Yeah,
at that.
you have to play a little classical.
You have to. So what I did was I was like, I really want this. I really want this. I went on to UNC Charlotte's website,
Mm-hmm.
Department of Music,
Mm-hmm.
and I reached out to the jazz instructor. He emailed me back over the summer to say, you should reach out to this gentleman. He
Mm-hmm.
was another instructor, and he agreed to teach me. I only had a month to learn how to read like basic notes and
Mm-hmm.
play a little bit of classical guitar before the audition in August. So, I mean, I would go 3 times a week just to learn, and I had to pay out of pocket. So, a lot of people, and this is one thing that I'm starting to learn now, about faith and stepping out on faith. So is this was a learning thing. A lot of people say step out on faith, but they don't know what that process is.
Mm-hmm.
And they say faith without works is dead. A lot of people think that things are just going to fall into our laps and just magically happen. And miracles do happen, I
They
believe,
do.
but there is a part in this process between us and God. God can't work unless we start working too,
Exactly.
you
Exactly.
know.
Yeah.
And there has been from the old Baptist church, I'll take one step and God will take two,
Two.
what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So we have to put work into the things that we desire.
Exactly.
um
Yes.
so um during that time, I was still taking lessons at with the professor during the summer. I was still at work, but I have all these sticky notes. I keep sticky notes everywhere. And this really what got me through. I will always listen to inspirational stuff. Like, we are surrounded by so much negativity.
Mm-hmm.
Even when I used to tell people at work that I'm going back to school, they was like, "What for? Oh my God, you finally gonna be a doctor?" I was like, "No, I'm going to be a guitarist. I'm a musician." And there were just, I mean, the faces that was made of just being dumbfounded. Like, is she serious? Like,
Or like, why now?
why now? Why at
Right, right.
36 years old? I was
Mhm,
36 years old when I decided to change my career and
mhm.
flip everything upside down. And you know what? I had more people being very negative than supportive. And because of that, I started to just write all these sticky notes and positive affirmations. Some of them that I have here, I just took them off my, excuse me, I just took them off my wall in my mirror. But it says, true desire in a heart for anything good is God's proof to you, sent beforehand to tell you that it's already yours. So
Mhm.
those things that I felt when I would daydream about being on stage, when I would just like feel it, but I couldn't touch it. And I'm like, God is already showing me proof of it. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But of course, most times we don't know how to get there. So I just started stepping out on faith. I'm like, well, I'm just going to start this way. I'm just going to, and the God will start to direct and open up doors, put people in your path. Like, I truly believe that. Another thing that helped me get through was, it says, when you know how to think, it empowers you far beyond than those who know what to think.
Mhm.
So how I took that is with music, because I can hear something all day long and play it. I can replicate it
Mhm.
and give me a couple of minutes with it. So I know what to do, but I didn't know how to do it. So I said, I didn't know how music is built. I didn't know the fundamentals. I didn't know, and I was like, if I really want to get empowered, I need to know how this is done.
Mhm.
So school at the time made sense for me.
Right. So this is going back. That's your sticky notes is like your vision board
It is
and your
okay.
and your affirmations, and
Yep.
that you focused on that path.
Yep.
Is that
That
right?
is,
Okay.
yep, that is absolutely correct.
Mhm.
It says life is too short to play it safe. Be bold, do what you love, get off the bleachers and get in the game. And that was by motivational speaker Les Brown.
Mhm.
Um, don't just aspire to make a living, aspire to make a difference by Denzel. And the last one that helps me to this day, because practicing sometimes I don't put a I don't make it priority with being so busy, but now that I'm out of school, I can definitely make it a priority. But it says you will never get better if you don't put in the time and practice your gifts daily. Like, I have to put
Mhm.
this around so that I can remember.
Mhm.
Um, so that truly helped me get through. So I finally got to the audition at UNC Charlotte, passed it. And the first week of school, this was August 2018. By Friday, I cried. I said, what did I do? It was so hard when they put them jazz charts in front of me with 16th
Mhm.
notes, all these rhythms that I didn't know how to read. I was like, why? Why did you do this, Dan? Why?
And you learned how.
I learned
You learned
how.
how. That's right. You put yourself into it,
I threw
and
myself.
instead of running from it,
Hmm.
you went forward
I kept
and you
going forward.
and you jumped into it.
Now, every
And
semester
now
was,
look at you now.
oh yes, 3 years later. I just graduated last week with my bachelor's of arts in music, and I had a chance to talk to my jazz professor about my first year, my first semester of just crying at the end of the first week. I would be in jazz ensemble.
Mhm.
I remember he was like, I want you to play this rhythm like Freddie Green. I'm like, who is Freddie Green and what is this? So I started to research, and I was just like, being in big band
Mhm.
as a guitarist, to me, I felt like I didn't have a place, but he was like, just play what I need you. You are a part of the rhythm section. So
Mhm.
I thought, oh, I'm a guitarist, I'm gonna get some lead lines in there. Nope. So,
You're
and
gonna
I
play
was
what's written and what your orchestra conductor tells you to play and how to play it.
right.
Because you're part of the orchestra, you're part of
I-
the band.
I'm part of the band, not,
And right, and it's not about you.
and
It's
it's not about me.
about
And
the
not
whole,
only,
yeah, the works, yeah.
yeah, and not only am I part of the band, I'm a part of the rhythm section. So I started to
Exactly.
think of myself as part of the hi-hat. So I had to
Mhm.
like really play my rhythms as a in my mind as a percussion player, had to be in sync with that. So I would be in class like, this is stupid, this is not making any sense. And so once again, it came full circle. I posted a video on Facebook and I hashtag Black female guitarist, and someone found me from that. A young lady, she reached out to me on Messenger. She said, I would like for you to audition. I saw one of your videos and I said, okay. She said, the gig is in Atlanta. And I was like, all right, cool. I wasn't doing much. And honestly, I never take gigs during a semester. Never. Never, because it's too much. It's too much more music to learn. I'm already having like 8, 9 charts in jazz. I already have charts in classical music, charts in piano. So I'm already reading like 15 charts throughout the semester. Now I got to do a gig. So I never say yes. This time, the spirit said yes. So I said, yes. Okay, cool. So she said, I'm going to send you this video. And if you can reply back with the video of your playing over it. And I said, cool. So she sent it to me and I said, this makes no sense. Like, I just started to laugh because it was a big band chart.
Oh, what you've been doing, right?
What I've been doing. It was for Urban One Honors with TV1.
That aired May 16th, last Sunday. And go ahead.
Yes. So when she sent me, I said, God, the one thing I thought I did not need is what I needed. So I played my Freddie Green like I've been playing for the past 3 years. So I did get the gig and get the performance. I had to be in Atlanta for 5 days. And this was my first time being on a big stage, and God truly opened up that door. And
you were right. You were prepared. See, when you were like, why am I playing this Freddie Green with the orchestra at school? This prepared you for this gig. And it's a stepping stone.
Yep.
And congratulations on your degree. And you got your degree in music. And congratulations on your success as a musician. Not only a guitar player, but you are also a bassist.
I am a bassist.
Right? I've seen you play a mean bass too. But you're an amazing guitar player. You were always an amazing guitar player. Now you can read music and you know how to play with an ensemble, an orchestra, and a band. And so that just prepared you. Like you said, God prepares you for the next thing. So he didn't just say, hey, just, take that call, and you had no discipline. You had no prep, but you did. And you said, okay, and there you go. And now the doors are open.
Yeah. So I have after seeing it on last Sunday, listen, I was like, God, I can do this forever. It felt so good. And that was the time where it also came back to my memory of what I used to say. Guess what? I used to work as a medic, 13, 14 hours. This was my first time having a performance gig, 13, 14 hours. So God listened to me. I was able to swap, positions and doing something that I love. And it did not feel like a chore. It did not feel like work. 14 hours of just love and passion and learning music and being around like-minded women. It was an all-female band. So that was even more great. And every woman on that stage, from the musical director, Kim Burse, to every musician, it was just a fantastic experience.
Definitely, yeah.
I'm definitely praying for more.
You will see, and this is what I heard this. I don't know if it was from an actor, but when you enjoy what you do, it's no longer work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When even though you enjoyed your EMT, you loved working as a tech. Definitely a love for that. But now this is what you want to do. You've moved on to playing your music. So it didn't feel like work. 14 hours, you were like, I can with 15 hours, let me keep going. So, and you get paid for it too. So
yes.
You get paid for it. You're having a good time. You're networking. You're meeting people, but you're loving it and you're enjoying what you do. And this is, this is it right here. This is the blessing.
This is the blessing,
This
and
is the blessing.
this is also something that my children, I'm glad they were able to witness,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that especially as them growing up. I have a 12-year-old little boy, well,
Mm-hmm.
young man,
Young
and
man.
a 8-year-old Morgan. She's just absolutely wonderful, full of life and full of light.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad they got the chance to see mommy. Like, it was hard. Every semester was hard for me.
Mm-hmm.
My husband was absolutely fantastic, such a great support. I would come home from school. I'll have to pick the kids up, but I'll come home and he already has dinner done. He was like,
Wonderful.
it was such a
Wonderful.
good balance. And there were times that this process of going to school also humbled me because, of course, like I said earlier, I wanted to be that super mom, that super wife, but I needed people. We
Mm-hmm.
have to understand that we do need people,
Sure.
um, but you got to make sure that you have the right people surrounding you. So my mother-in-law, she would definitely cook for me
Mm-hmm.
um, 2 or 3 nights a week so I could study, so I
Mm-hmm.
could do things. But it was stressful. It was
Mm-hmm.
definitely stressful. Not only that, the last year with the pandemic, my kids were being homeschooled by me as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it as I want to say following your dreams is wonderful, but it's also a challenge because when you are doing something out of the norm,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to feel a little unstable. You're going to come out of comfort, but that's okay.
It's
That's where you
okay.
start being molded, and that's where you started to be groomed into and develop to whatever amazing thing that you're destined to be. So I encourage people to definitely don't be afraid of it. Plan for it.
Mm-hmm.
Not telling everybody to quit their job today. No, you have to
No,
plan.
you have to plan. Yeah, you have to plan. Yeah.
Definitely plan. But I started over, and it's okay to start over. Like I was saying before, if God gives me another day to breathe, and if things just didn't feel right today, I get another chance prayerfully to do it again
To do it
tomorrow. And I'm
again.
grateful for that.
So when you
So
say when you said start over, and I'm like, well, maybe you just moved forward. You didn't because you were already a musician,
that's absolutely correct. I
and
love the way you do
you
that.
you 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 played music. I met you. You were playing, and you did take a hiatus. But you also you played trumpet.
I I
So you
played.
would.
Mhm.
So you were a musician. So you had to take a break. You a wife, a mother, EMT, everything, and then you get back into it. So it was like a pause.
It was a pause.
And then you said, okay, unpause it, God, and let me go forward. And you did the work. I am so inspired by you. I'm glad we met, and I'm glad, in this short period of time, look at how successful. But yeah, it's a lot of hard work. And I know your kids, I met your children, they were so little.
They're tiny. They were
They
3 and 5, I
five,
think.
yeah, right. And now, kids, and we haven't aged a bit, right? No,
Yeah,
just
I
kidding.
know. Look at me, girl. No.
But no, amazing. And so, what do you have plans? I know you're not just a session player. I know you're a musician. What are your plans for the 2021, 2022? Do you have any plans for your musical career?
Yeah, a lot of people have been asking me that since I've graduated. Like, what next? What now? And sometimes you
Mm-hmm.
really don't know what's
Mm-hmm.
next, or what now, but it is my time uh to keep sharpening what I've learned. It doesn't go away. You have to always keep learning. Even when you think that you have arrived, you have
Right.
not arrived. You have to keep. So my desire and my goal is to go on tour.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my I know how to read now. I know how to compose. I know how to write. So I have invested in everything so that I can take my ideas, because I've always had ideas of music and what God wants to speak through me. Whether
Mm-hmm.
it's spiritual, jazz, R&B, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
I know how to write it. I know how to
Right.
take what I feel and put it on paper now and make
Mhm.
sense of it. So
Mhm.
I have things that I have planned that I want to do right now. I'm always going to keep practicing.
Yes.
Learning how to practice is something that you have to practice, you
That's
know.
it. Yeah.
So
You have to practice, and how to
you
practice is
you
important,
have
right?
to practice
You
how to
don't
practice.
waste time. Yeah, sure.
There you go.
You
There you go.
know, definitely get as much out of it with the time you have. Again, we have so much going on today, and with you still with family, and just working with, and you're going to be working with artists on tour, so it's a lot. So it's never ending. You're going to constantly evolve and learn, and that's with everything. You already know that because you already been through it. So it's just,
Mhm.
listen, we at Fred Sisters, really thank you so much for this wonderful interview of your journey and your success. Congratulations again on your graduation with your music degree. Congratulations on you're going to be touring, and you can read music now, and you're so happy, and a composer, and just congratulations on everything. Your family's just wonderful, and so hey, we will see each other soon.
We will. We will. This is
Uh,
not the ending. This is just the beginning.
that's it. That's exactly, and you are definitely a Fret sister. And we love you, and we will talk soon. Thank you so much, my dear. It's been a pleasure. It's
This
been
was
really a pleasure.
Thank you so much, Karen. I wish you all the best with everything that you're looking into.
Oh yeah, we'll get together again soon. Don't worry, we'll jam again.
There you go.
Okay, girl. Listen, thank you so much again. Love you. Take care. Bye
All right.
bye.
Hey, Riff Girl, what you got?